A few months ago, I cut some Nepenthes Basal shoots from two different species and two different ways. The first one was the regular cutting the basil and rooting it. The second one was cutting the main stem and rooting it, keeping the basil shoot on the mother root system. So now it's the time to follow up. Hi, my name is Remy, and on this channel I explain you everything I know about how to grow Nepenthes on Windowsill. So a few months ago I cut some Nepenthes Basal shoots of two different species. The first one was the Gaya, so it's an hybrid, really a classic one. I cut the basils and root them. And after that, I decided to do the other way around, another test. It was ventri-hamata, so I cut the main stem and root them, leaving the basils on the root system. So they directly grow strong because they benefit from all the roots, and we will see how they evolved. So first part will be the Gaya, how they evolved, and the second part will be this ventri-hamata by Hamata.
But before deciding which one is the best, we have to understand what is a basal. So a basal or basal shoot is basically an extension of the plant. It's like a cloning. The plant is producing a new offspring without any kind of reproduction here. So it's basically from the main stem, growing kind of a root that will reach the surface and pop and build a whole new plant, the exact copy of the mother plant. So if you leave it there, you will have two big plants, but if you remove it and pot it separately, you will have two plants. So it's always better because you will be able to trade or sell it. So if you remove the basal and plug that in the substrate, it will end up rooting. If the basal is big enough, I mean less than an inch, I would not really remove them just because there is a chance it don't make it. The only problem here would be if the main stem do not slow down, which is good. The basal have small leaves that don't do a lot of photosynthesis, so obviously it will grow slowly. So now let's try the other way around. You cut the main stem and you keep the basal on the mother root system. So obviously the main stem will root properly because it's already big, the leaves are strong and it's able to do a lot of photosynthesis. And the small basal will benefit from all the energy of the mature root system and should grow way faster than if it was to restart the roots from scratch.
Okay, let's see how the basal that was removed from the main stem grew.
So here is the Nepenthes Gaya a few months ago, and I spotted a basal shoot under the leaves. So I decided to remove it because it was not getting a lot of light and basically I want more plants. So I unpotted the whole plant and cut all the basal that were under the substrate. The smallest one, I should not have cut it, but it basically broke during the process. So 1 month after, we can see that the main basal is really healthy and there is absolutely no problem. It's picturing, very good. The medium size was okay, it took more time, but the smallest didn't survive. So now we are 4 months after repotting this basal and we see the main one is absolutely gorgeous. The medium one is taking way more time because again the size of the leaves provide less energy. So now it's 10 months old. Clearly the basal really took off. The main one is really huge and even the medium one really started growing nicely. So big and healthy leaves. I will talk about the color just in a few seconds, but let's first check the pictures. So look at that, perfectly formed, quite nice actually for a small basal like that. And even the smallest basal is also looking good. It's now growing faster. Again, more energy from the leaves and the picture start to be decent, even during this cold winter. So now let's talk about the leaf. Nepenthes Gaya is known to really get suntan quite easily. Look at this other leaf that is in front of the grow light. So it can go really bronze or reddish quite easily, and that's not a problem at all. You see, the leaf is totally healthy. No sunburn, no nothing.
So now let's see how the basil that stayed on the mother root system grew and how evolved the main stem that was rooted.
So here is ventri-hamata. That's really a gorgeous plant. I really recommend it for every windowsill. That's really a nice plant and it shoots a lot of basil, like this. But this one is special. It's not technically under the substrate, but on the main stem. That's one of the reasons why I decided to cut the main stem and to root it this time. All the energy from the roots, from the mother plant's roots, will benefit to this basil. And rooting a main stem is really easy. You basically cut it and plug it inside the substrate. And because the plants have a lot of energy from big leaves, it should root quite easily. So in August, it was like that just after cutting. But 2 months after, we can see that the basil grew properly. And if the mother plant lost all the picture and is not picturing anymore because it's focusing on growing new roots, the basil really starts showing some decent size picture. So that's very neat because that was a good test. The basil is growing so fast compared to the main stem not growing at all, but you will have a better look in a few months after. So now let's see how it was 6 months ago. So it was really tiny compared to the main stem, and now look at that. It almost reached the size of the main stem. And the pictures of this small basil are already quite big. And for the main stem, it stopped picturing because it was focusing on growing new roots, but now it's coming back. A lot of pictures are coming. And look at this one. That's the first one it does since it's rooted. Look how big it is. It's even bigger than when I cut it. So that's really, really promising. But let me explain you why it's big. Usually, each picture will be bigger than the previous one. That's obvious, that's how they grow. But then when you do a cutting, it will stop picturing for a moment. And the plants will focus now on growing new roots, but it will keep aging. So next time it will produce picture, they will be as they would never stopped. So they will be the size as they should. So this main stem now produce big pictures, and clearly all the picture will be just better every time. There is another one here hidden. Okay, I will put it back where it should be. I don't want that to be crushed between the pots. But as you see, cutting the main stem is also quite efficient. You will have a basil that will grow way faster. So now about the size, the small basil is 2 inch and the main stem is 3.5 inch. So that's quite a nice size for a rooted small cutting.
So as you see, the two ways are great. It really depends on what you want to accomplish here. For example, if you have a small basil and a big stem and you want to keep the main stem to have it flowering and producing seeds, etc., do not touch the main stem, cut the basil. At the opposite, if you have some good basils and the main stem, you don't want the flower or it's not old enough to be able to flower properly, and you can handle this +1, +2 years before it's flower. Cut the main stem and you will have a great basil shoot that will again benefit from all the energy of the roots, and the main stem could be easily rooted. So that's also a great way to sell cuttings, rooted cuttings, and make some money and maybe trade with another species that you don't have or want. So it's always a good way to get more plants for free. So what do you do when you have a basil shoot? Do you cut it and root it? Do you cut the main stem and root it? Or do you just leave it there and on the main pot and you end up with a lot of different leaves and pictures, and it can be kind of a mess, but I don't know. How do you do that? So here is 2 videos that could help you to take care of your basil, and until next time, happy growing.